acting without attachment to the results of your actions. If we can recognize in our own mind, which is nothing but imagination, especially obvious in projecting into the future, all thought is imaginary, which means all desire is imaginary. Now, you can have an idea of how something should go or how you would like it to go, but as we have seen, it doesn't always work out according to your wish, obviously, right? So life is a force. We even call it the life force. And this body, mind, intellect, and ego life, that is also a force, is in the field all the changing aspects of manifestation. The body, we know, is always changing. It's going from birth to death. The emotions, they're always changing from high to low. Thoughts, always changing. I want, I don't want. I think this is great. I think this is not great. I think this, it conflicts with that thought, this thought, that thought. We know that every moment the thoughts are changing. So if we can recognize that this body-mind is always in change, and it's always desiring life, this force, which cannot be impacted by my thinking or even by my action. Life is a force into itself. If I am trying with this body-mind to control life, that force, I'm going to fail and I'm going to suffer. But if we realize ourselves free from the imaginations of the mind, which is to say free from the desires that is always trying to be forcing this incredible intelligence that we call life, if we are trying to force that huge cosmic intelligence into my little mind's desire, my little mind's imaginations, if I'm trying to force that, obviously one is going to struggle a lot. And we are going to say or feel that life is not working out as I want it to work out. And here is a struggle of a human being. The want to try and control and the disappointment and frustration, even leading to suffering, that life doesn't match up to my desire. It is a far greater force. But we can tune in through the meditation to our own force, a force far greater than thinking, far greater than the strength of my body. And that is the force of pure conscious existence. Or we could simply say our true self, our higher self, our inner self, which is life itself. It is a force itself. And that is actually the force that is behind all thinking and all acting. This force of consciousness. Without consciousness, no thought, no form, no experience, no desire. So you can also call your true self the source power. Nishkaam Karm Yoga, when you can tune in to your true self, Nishkaam, before desire, the force that gives rise to any wave, call it desire, call it imagination, thinking, feeling Nishkaam, the source of all action, then you won't have this struggle that is expecting the result, happiness, joy, freedom, security, from your imaginary ideas, your desires, and your small thinking mind, which is thinking, I am controlling life. You won't have the attachment to the results of your actions when you are tuned into your true self. So this axiom, a phrase, they call them Mahavakyas. Maha means great, and Vakya means to speak. Mahavakyas are great statements. What makes them great? Great in terms of true, immutable. They last throughout time. So the Gita was written, they say, maybe 3,000 years ago. So what is great about the teachings in the Gita, what makes them immutable and true, is that they still apply today. These great statements come from these scriptural texts, and this is one of the great statements, the Mahavakya from the Bhagavad Gita. And it is one of the key points to reflect upon and examine in your own life as a way to not keep struggling with the outcome of your actions. If you know, and this can be realized through meditation and through reflection or contemplation, which is the satsang, reminding you that satsang is not only on Sundays when we get together, but satsang is this knowledge, this wisdom that is maturing in your mind, so you are speaking satsang to yourself. Upon meditation and satsang, this Mahavakya starts to show itself in everything that you do. Because you realize through meditation and contemplation that action and thinking come from you, the source life. But the experience in the waking state mind is that my inner state will be happy, will be content from action. When I act in this way and I get my imagined result of action, then I will be happy. And have we not experienced that that is not true? You can have all kinds of ideas of what is going to bring you happiness, how you can act, what decisions you make, and what course you take. That which we have experienced has only shown us that it is not led to our inner self to be content, to have a sense of completeness, fulfillment, inspiration, upliftment, to be in harmony with people rather than at odds with people. Our action has not led us to that state of harmony. And it has not led us to that state, not because we are yet not able in our actions. We are very able, but because we have not understood that I am there as the pure state of being that gives life to the action. From myself comes action. This has to be meditated upon. And this is what I was saying to Verena yesterday, simple point, meaning simple as in a very peeled back practice. If you expose the mistake that action is going to lead me to my desired result, which is happiness and freedom and all wonderful things, If I expose that that is not true, not possible, just by exposing this, by bringing light to this, we stop trying to force that into being, which means we stop forcing, we stop struggling. So when you can release struggle, which means release the attachment to your idea of what should be, or what the outcome of action should be, must be even, there's that great force. That is meditation. Meditation in action is the relinquishing, the releasing of your struggle. And you can just now simply observe action, and you can clearly make decisions when your mind is not completely covered with the struggle, which is your own imagination, your own false desire that I am going to get something from action. Action that is based in gain and loss will always lead to disappointment. You have to know yourself before action. Nothing can be added to you. You are already complete. Let's close our eyes, because this can be directly realized in meditation, or at least it has to be directly realized first in meditation before it can be applied in decision making and thereby in action. We have to tap into our inner self that is ever present. This is such an important key direction of our attention. What is already there? Ever present means what has never left you. What has never left you? Freedom, love, joy, contentment, fearlessness. What takes us seemingly away from this? When we make true the thinking mind. What is meditation? Do not make the thinking mind true. Just by this very clear practice, are you not there as the pure conscious being to observe thinking? And action comes from thinking, so you're also observing action. In meditation, we are observing action in form of memory. But we are observing, and we don't give enough attention to the observer, which is ever present. If we can bring some attention back to this source of life, because it is not an object, the observer, it is life itself, which is why it takes a subtle mind to reflect upon and meditate upon the source, because it has no form. Just as we don't see life, we see trees, we see grass, we see the sky, we see my hand move, but we do not see the power that moves it. Similarly, we do not see ourselves as the observer, life force. But without us there as the ever-present conscious being, there is no thinking. profoundly tuning into this, that thoughts and the whole field of thinking and experiencing and the memory of action exists because I am that ever-present conscious power that holds it in my own existence. When we realize this, then we realize I can never gain and I can never be lost. Contentment, completion, satisfaction, fulfillment, freedom, love is our true nature, and it is ever present. It is not something gained from action. Therefore, when we know this deeply, profoundly, directly, when it is time for us to open our eyes, we will not be influenced by the false knowledge that I can gain something from action or lose something from action. And then the struggle is released. Nishkaam Karm Yoga. You will not be in the struggle with your action to try and steer the life force, control the life force according to your mental idea or desire, which is based in I must gain, I must secure, I must increase, I must do more, I must have more for my security. It must be this certain way with this certain person for my freedom. Return your attention out of that hell-like state, that unending emptiness, trying to satisfy yourself through what you do, what you decide, what you have, how you interact. Interactions is also action. Has it ever fulfilled you completely? Be with yourself. I am the ever-present, pure and free being. That is not a little tiny speck in life. It is life itself. Tremendous force. Force of completion. Now knowing where is the direction of attention, accept, accept, accept. Meditation is the practice of accepting this truth, this Mahavakya. You are the source of your action. Know your source. Life is guiding action. Know what is life. Knowing this, you will not be in the struggle of gain and loss, of success and failure, of having and not having, that comes from an imagination of what should be the result of your action. There is a Mahavakya in the Buddhist tradition that says, with a clear heart, all is right action. With a clear heart, all is right action. We cannot act wisely if we do not know from where all that which we desire comes from. That is what meaning clear heart. Very clear to the endless pursuit of desiring through action, and very clear to return back to know yourself free from desire. Nishkaam. When you can tap into the fulfillment of your own inner being, then the heart clears, the mind clears, and all action will be executed or followed in accordance with life. Life's intelligence will be accessible to you. The wisdom that is of the clear mind, freed from all kinds of confused ideas and desires, expectations and past hurts that cloud the decision. Clear mind, clear heart, not by forcing, but by knowing yourself. Self that has never been colored by or stained by anything. How free, how pure you are. This period of meditation is deeper than what the mind can perceive. It's deeper than any explanation, description. It really is a returning to yourself, free from any struggle that is born of the desire to complete oneself through action. Return to yourself, and you will resolve the struggle that is attached to gain, afraid of loss.